Staring at the stars in the back of my car. Trying to figure out just who we are. Catching moments on our phones, taking pictures, call it home. Picking words out of our favorite songs, our favorite songs. We can stay up all night. Yeah, we'll show them we were right. The city is ours for life. Will you take my hand tonight? We can stay up all night. Yeah, we'll show them we were right. Will you take my hand tonight? Will you take my hand tonight? Yeah, we'll show them we were right. Will you take my hand tonight? We can stay up all night. Yeah, we'll show them we were right. Will you take my hand tonight? Will you take my hand tonight? Wearing cheap perfume, smoking the rain. I make you laugh, trying to heal the pain. Now we're stuck in hotels, missing home. Getting fucked up on our own. Trying to find the place where we belong, where we belong. We can stay young together. We can go on forever. We can tell them that we just don't care. Run through the street.
You might be a city worker who's trying to figure out how to manage logistics in a crazy time. You might just be a stay-at-home person who's who's got to keep it all together. One way or another, Imagivation can be a really important tool to make your brain start working the way that we need it to. All right, well, let's head over to the speed swirl because you know what time of year it is. It's the fall. Seasons are changing, and Black Friday is upon us. We have already done some pretty interesting Black Friday explorations with terrible ideas, and I know that there's sort of just a font of opportunities to have fun with that. And I thought, as we're cruising into next week, and all of this stuff is coming to a head, we should probably give it just one last go, and we'll do that for our speed swirl this morning. I thought maybe a little, possibly a little controversial, is maybe let's take a look at the name. Now, obviously, here in 2020 and beyond, this name is probably just not really doing the work that it needs to do. I would imagine for both of the words that are in this, there's certainly some cultural sensitivities, but also, what is Friday anymore? It used to be that it was the day after Thanksgiving. That's when all the sales happened. But Black Friday is this concept now that extends into October and sometimes even a little bit earlier, just depending on the retailer. So I thought we'd come up with terrible ideas to rename Black Friday. And so I think we could actually, this show is got quite a reach now. Who knows what might happen? We come up with a great idea, it could stick, and we could really have an impact on the culture. So we had talked about, actually, while you're thinking up those names, and I know you are, I know you're brewing them up. I know it, I can feel it. I know in the stream, I can tell when there's this slight delay and that all of the ideas are starting to formulate in your brains. While you're thinking about that, remember that we had come up with this really great idea that was Black Friday Arena Edition. Black Friday Arena Edition. And that was an idea that came out of, what do we do with empty, sports arenas and venues like that? And one of the ideas was, what if you just actually get all of the retailers to bring all of their merchandise, dump it out in the middle of, Paul Brown Stadium field, and then open the doors and let people come in and try to get stuff there. That was really interesting. And so that spawned more interest, as far as I'm concerned, in exploring this as we head into it. Steel Stuff Day. All right, let's just get right to the heart of it. Good morning, G Wismo. Glad to have you back in. Domnation00, thanks for Double Lot. Domnation Double Lot. Thanks again for coming in. Personal Debt Day. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. It's credit card celebration. Steel Stuff Day. I was thinking you could get into, if we stay in this kind of battle space, it could be battle retal. After the battle royale. Drain your account day. Account drain day. Drain your account day. It's definitely about the buying. Yeah, there's also that, the craziness of getting up super early, and there are plenty of people that do that. So there's the early factor, early morning factor that we could kind of hit on if anybody has got any terrible ideas in that respect. And remember, folks, it's terrible ideas. We're actually going to talk about that as we move through the show today. I want to make sure that we're hitting it with the hardest, most terrible stuff. No cap on capitalism day. Yeah, no cap. No cap on cap day. Yeah, I could see that. Taken off. BCYDNBIOSD. Buy crap you don't need because it's on sale day. Now we're talking. Support Sidecar. Good morning. I'm going to try this, G Wismo. BCYDNBIOSD. I love a good acronym. I really do. Sacrifice to the economy instead of sleeping in day. Yep, that's in our early morning bucket. Thank you. Sacrifice to the lords of the economy. Sacrifice to the economy. Sacrifice your sleep. Instead of sleeping in, sleep out. Get out there. It's tough. Anybody get up early on Black Friday anymore? Ugh. Black Eye Friday. Sail your soul day. Sail your soul. Everything's on soul today. Black Eye Friday. I hope it doesn't come down to that. Retail Battle Royale. Yep. Retail Battle Royale. Like that. Do you need a day designation? Do you need a time reference? Or are we really truly past that? Is this a post Black Friday world that we live in? And that we're all just holding on to this concept that it's like, when you talk about dialing a phone, right? You don't dial anymore. That was something we physically did to an object to initiate a phone call, and we still use that. So maybe Black Friday just lives on because it means something else now. It's abstracted into our general cultural lexicon. Well, great job, everybody. Nice work. That's a good way to warm it up. Welcome into the stream. We're going to do just a little bit of chattery. Just going to chat it up a little bit. And then we're going to come back for some pretty hardcore, terrible ideation. If you missed it yesterday, we had a really, really great run with our friend Sarah Singer-Nori. And she came on. She shared the news with us that she is getting ready to publish a new book. She's an acclaimed author, as I mentioned, and her book True Team doesn't have a subtitle yet. And so she and I, when she came on to be a guest, she's like, "Hey, what do you think? Should we do this?" And we did. We came up with some terrible ideas for subtitles. Yesterday's almost most terrible idea just was one that I thought was so simple, based on the cover art. Why not make the subtitle the way that you're going to read that when you see it laid out that way? So great job, An Boy. Welcome to the Imagivate team. Nice job. Almost there. Almost most terrible. Keep on trying. Keep on trying. You could maybe hit that prize one of these days. But yesterday's most terrible idea. Sorry, it went to a heavy hitter. I couldn't say no. Yesterday's most terrible idea was True Team, 18 tools for any group of tools. Definitely hitting on Sarah's brief of I want to talk about tools, not magic, and twisted it around to really just speak to who this is going after. Just terrible people who need to become less terrible through coaching and training, which was great. Nice job, Thought Worst. Way to swing in there. Always love to see when you nail it. Good morning, Ujako. And thank you guys for keeping those Black Friday ideas coming through. Maybe we'll go back and grab a few before we move on. And before we move on, and speaking of Ujako, actually, rather timely, thanks for coming in. Last night, if you've never joined us before for the Thursday Night Thinkubator, you are really missing out on something pretty cool. We get together once a week, and we've been a little spotty for the past couple of weeks, but we're getting there. We get together and we actually do some long form Imagivation. Now, while we're doing terrible ideas at the snap of a finger in this stream, and those terrible ideas are meant to die in service to better ideas, Thinkubator actually is where we're taking what started as a terrible idea and we're trying to make it into something that could actually get on its feet. And I just wanted to share with you really quick what that looks like, because I actually I think you could come in and join us sometime. I'd love to have you there. This was an idea that we had a long time ago. It's a 100 player in person battle royale card game. So we thought, wouldn't it be fun to take the insights of online video game battle royales with in-person, get together analog card game or board game experience. And so, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but we've been doing all kinds of thinking. I mean, this is a Miro board. We have actual live contributors. These are people I don't know. They're weirdos off the internet who came in and started watching the show. I don't know who these people are, and I gave them unlimited access to this Miro board. They could delete all of it in one fell swoop, but it's a trust experience that is working. And so and actually, Ujako particularly, Dave on Base 32 and Ujako have been teaming up to bring this thing to life. Look at what's happening here. They're creating fundamental game design principles, the game mechanics. Like, how's this thing going to work? We went through some pretty heavy duty problem solving about how do you do a battle royale game as cards, and what are the tenets of the game. Anyway, I'm so fascinated by the fact that this community gets together. What could have just been this kind of dumb, fluffy, Twitch stream is actually turning into something really interesting and productive. We had G Wismo join last night. Thoughtworst joined in last night for the first time. This is a ton of fun. We do it at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. Come and join us if you can, because it's really proving to be something special. All right. So speaking of something special, I really enjoyed our time yesterday with Sarah Singer Nori. It looks like she's in the stream. Good morning, S. Singer Ann. Glad to have you back in here. We had a sideline conversation after this, and the question that arose was, did we HighFivesenberg our terrible ideas experiment? Now, I got some help from the Thinkubators last night to get to this, the Heisenberg principle, which isn't exactly what we're talking about. There's actually a thing called the observer effect, which is maybe a little bit more relevant to what we're talking about. They both are science thought experiments in quantum mechanics. But the idea is basically, does the observer of the experiment change the outcome of the experiment just by observing? Do you affect what's happening because you are participating in it? And yesterday, we got to some terrible ideas, but I really began to wonder if we got to the most terrible ideas that we possibly could, because we were coming up with terrible ideas for our subject. Our subject was in the stream with us. Sarah just boldly put her book out there and the subtitle as our opportunity to come up with terrible ideas. And you had some terrible ideas, but I wondered if you were pulling punches. I wondered if Sarah's such a nice person, and do we get a little concerned that we're going to hurt somebody's feelings with a terrible idea? Well, yeah, right. I mean, terrible ideas can be offensive. They can be insulting. They can challenge notions, maybe deeply dug in notions that somebody might have, conventions of thinking, right? So it's actually quite dangerous territory. And so so Sarah asked me that question. Do you think that's true? And I don't know. I really don't know. I wonder if we need to start to condition ourselves to be fearless about coming up with terrible ideas, no matter the potential short-term impact. This is tough. And I'm glad that Singer N is in the stream, because we got to really kind of talk through this. Can you really get to terrible ideas if you're afraid of some sort of filter or some sort of, weirdness, and especially if that person is part of the Imagivation? So I would like to volunteer myself to be patient zero in this experiment. That's what I would like to do today. For our second half, we just hit the halfway mark. Perfect. I would like to become the subject of the experiment today. I want us to do Imagivation for the Imagivate network, which, except for the fact that it's this wonderful blossoming community of many individuals that are contributing, it's all kind of resting on my shoulders to come in every morning and hit this button and go. And so there's a lot of heart and soul in it, and I want you to unleash the terrible beast I want you to Imagivate all over me today. Dig? We're really going to do this. So what I thought we could do is, you might have noticed, I don't know when you came into the stream, but at one point I had a really nice shot of the streets of East Row District, Newport, on my roof cam, which works 20% of the time. It's a real mess. So there are technical challenges to my show. There are conceptual challenges to my show. I think this show could be more terrible. I think there's a lot of things we could be doing better to make it more challenging of what's out there and stuff. So what I thought we could do together is get into some Imagivation around the Imagivate network. So, and I want you to come up with terrible ideas. Now, here's what I want to throw out there though. Before I jump over to that, what I was going to volunteer as tribute is a few things that you should know about me that are wide open. I'm going to be very vulnerable about this. Things that you should know. I have a dangerously low amount of melatonin in my skin. These are things that you might want to just throw into the mix if you really want to go after this and get to terrible ideas. Troy, maybe you could be your own bounce card for your lighting because you are nearly translucent. I recently took up knitting as a hobby. I don't know, maybe throw that in there. Remember that Yaris that I took a picture of in like maybe 5 weeks ago? We did some imagination around what we could do with the Yaris. It's still parked right in that same spot. It hasn't even moved. And now it's covered in tree branches from that beautiful tree that you've been seeing the shots of, just because I'm really not very good at taking care of cars. Maybe that's a thing that you want to talk about. See where this is going? It took me 6 years to get an undergraduate degree, and I'm not talking about, well, I kind of came and went. I did 12 full-time semesters. I had what we called the professional wrestling report card every semester, WWF. That might be a good one. So what I'm saying is, come at me, bro. Oh yeah, melatonin. Did I say melatonin? I meant melanin. That's a great thing to make fun of right there. I didn't even have the right chemical. But I also probably could use some melatonin since I'm not sleeping. Yes, melanin. Dangerous levels of melanin. All right, so here we are. So terrible ideas to make the Imagivate network better, knowing that there's nothing you can do about me, your host, Troy Hitch. A couple of things that you could be circling around. What do I do with the GoPro camera that I cannot get to work on the roof? It's ostensibly intended to be a live feed, and so that I might try to do some episodes live from like on location. That might be something we could talk about. What about the format? Should we try to? What about Thursday Night Thinkubator? Or what about terrible ideas for the Q1 EMEA meeting? Or, one terrible idea that I just haven't really been able to follow through on was At the Crack. At the Crack with Troy Hitch at 6 a.m. on Fridays. That was a thing that I tried to do. It was a terrible idea. And maybe go back and do it again. All right, let's see. Matthias, what are we brainstorming about? My friend, we're brainstorming about the Imagivate network, and we need your help. We need terrible ideas. And I do not want you to hold back. You've got 10 minutes to come up with terrible ideas. Do you put me in harm's way? Do you fire me and bring in a new host? Do you change the whole thing into watching a science experiment play out with plants? What terrible ideas? Because the Imagivate network needs your help. Make it into a 24/7 stream. That is a terrible idea. You can't get enough of me now? Why not join me all day, all night? Little B Fat Brain, new segment on the show. Single eyebrow side eye. Now we're talking. Really? That's that. I'm not sensitive about that at all. It's really funny. That's a great one, Little B Fat Brain. Let's see. Form an Imagivate cult. People know us by our half-shaved right eyebrows. Okay. Half eyebrow cult. Or as I've been calling it, reverse pirate. Okay. That's neat. That's really funny. You guys are going after the eyebrow. I think that's awesome. But see, this is it. I'm ready for it. Turn it loose onto me. Troy Hitch, live streaming pickup artist. I think some folks might beg to fight you on that one. Hey, Shkeely, the Imaginabago, a mobile studio that can stream from anywhere. Okay. The Imaginabago. I think that's a good idea. I've always fancied myself sort of small home on wheels, like a tenement on wheels kind of a guy. Late night show, the 1 a.m. brain bash. Okay. All right. 1 a.m. brain bash. I'd like to know what we do on the brain bash. That sounds interesting. That's about what's happening to me at 1 a.m. most times anyway. Move the show to Dayton. Magical Trevor, too, who also swung in last night. I'm sorry, I missed you last night in the Thinkubator. Move to Dayton. Terrible idea. Guys, I want these to be terrible. I want them to be real. This is all we're doing is we're testing to see how terrible we can be with me sitting right here in front of you. Make it an ASMR stream. Yep. We've talked a lot about ASMR. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Sing along Imagivation. Move this show to TikTok Live. TikTok. Sing along. Yeah, do the musical version of Imagivation. Little B-Fat Brain vetoing Dave on Bass 32's idea, as I suspected. Imagistrate. Imagivate live in the courtroom. Imagistrate. You know, we were talking about the Tim Heidecker improv experience when he did the courtroom thing. That would actually be kind of fun. That's a great sorry. Sorry, G Wismo. That's a good idea. We don't want those on this stream. Sensitive safety blanket Sundays with tender time. Okay. Yeah, so instead of trying to go after this harsh, like, let's really just lift the hood on this thing and go after it, let's be real sensitive. Sensitive safety blanket Sundays. This goes well with this image here. Sensitive Sundays. I like that. That's a terrible idea. Nice job, Baradane. Hire a chicken as sidekick. Side chick. Okay. I don't know. That's pretty terrible. Not too bad. Ban everybody who has an actually good idea. Okay. I don't want to ban. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's what I need to do is threaten to remove you guys from the stream. That doesn't feel like a really good growth strategy, but yeah, I saw the Imaginabago, Little B Fat Brain. Thank you. Definitely. And Hey Shkili nailed that one. All right, so Dave on Base 32, smart, as we always do in the Imagivate world. We pivot, right? When something's not quite working, pivot. Troy Hitch live streams using pickup techniques on his life partner, essentially picking up the same person over and over, maybe succeeding, maybe failing. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nobody will want to watch that. Pickup artist, one-hit wonder. Yep. Terrible idea. Nice. Good pivot, Dave on Base 32. When it's not terrible enough, make it terribler. That's what we do. Magical Trevor 2. When technical difficulties arise in the future, cams drop out, screencast only, mutes, unwittingly muting, you reprise Donnie in an unannounced werewolf-like transformation. All right, so there are still some You Suck at Photoshop fans out there. So some sort of crossover, terrible idea. Definitely not going to happen. Thanks for throwing it out there. You can bet your bottom dollar. On the street of Newport, go out and ask people on the spot, come up with a bad idea. Yeah. Go interact with the people of Newport. Hold on. Live Newport Imagivation. That has unimaginable consequences. I like it. It's terrible, and that's what we're looking for. Troy Hitch does extremely harsh portfolio reviews of recent graduates. Success is measured in amount of years. Yeah, so I'm old, and that gives me the right to make young people feel terrible about their stuff. And that's actually the only reason why I'm still in the creative industry today. Troy wears a haptic vest so he can feel comments from the live stream. Shkeely. Haptic, you know what? Maybe we do that with Sensitive Sundays. Haptic, guys. Haptic feedback of comments. Oh my God. If you tied ASMR in with this, I guess I got to hope for good comments or soft comments or tender comments so the haptic suit doesn't glitch me into something with a different energy, haptic energy. Let's see. Make a Hollywood production movie about Imagivate. Okay. Who would play me? And William H. Macy is the correct answer. William H. Macy is Imagivate. And it's a detective show, because by the time somebody is explained to what this is, the writers have completely rewritten it, because it's a Hollywood money-making vehicle. Cooking demonstrations. Jerry's Jug House Cam. Yeah, get the Jugheads on Jug. You know what? Jughead Bad Idea interviews. That's what we need. Jughead Bad Idea Imagivation on a 24/7 streaming cam. Ah, that is awful. That's terrible. Nice work. Let's see. Buy a set of SpaceX launch. I'll buy a seat on the SpaceX launch and Imagivate from space. I like that. You know I like that, Matthias. I want to go into space real bad. Real awful like. SpaceX launch. And Imagivation from space. Let's see. Change the DNA of people so they will need to watch Imagivate. Otherwise, they'll die. Okay, so it just becomes just a life or death situation through some sort of transhuman modification of DNA. Okay, I like it. Troy Hitch coaches dads in the creative industry on how to ignore their family life more. Now we're getting into the tender stuff. Dave on base. That's what I'm talking about. And guys, you've only got 2 minutes left. Did you take all of your swings? I don't think you did. I think we're going to maybe have to do this next Friday. I think you forgot about just how terrible you can make ideas. There's some really bad ones in here, though. There's some really, really bad ones. Single eyebrow side-eye cam. Liking that one a lot. The whole half eyebrow cult, I think, is a good work. You know what? Sensitive Sundays, guys, that feels like we could get into some pilot territory with that. I really think so. Okay, well, how did we do? How did we do? Did we get terrible enough? I don't know. Imagivate, the Running Man edition. Troy is hunted while brainstorming. Yep. Make a toilet theme stream because every idea in Imagivate is shit. There's Matthias showing up the way that he was meant to be. All right. That's it. That's all I wanted. I just wanted you guys to remember what it means to make terrible ideas. I don't want us to forget it. And we need to push each other. We got to make our ideas more and more terrible, or what is this all about? I hope you have a great weekend. I'm ready to do it again next week. We're going to get down on it on Imagivate Live. Have a great day, everybody.
I know we ain't talked in a minute, but it's time. Living in the thoughts and the visions, but between the lines, yeah. I can't even talk with the visions there in my mind. 'Cause every time I fall, I can feel you there by my side, yeah. So show me the way and I'll follow you. Show me the way, 'cause that's all I do. Take the leap of faith and I'll dive into my diamonds. I'm finding this divine light inside of you. Tell me that you want me, baby. That ice cold stare, I just wanna know you better. From 1 to 3, got me looking everywhere for you. Count the stars, you are my sun. Underneath my skin, feel my bones are creeping in. I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of life shining underneath your skin. Wake up in the morning to get a touch from your arm. No regrets, I can't forget the scent you had on. Fingernails, I tell it and I'll dive into my diamonds. I'm finding this divine light inside of you. Tell me that you want me, baby. That ice cold stare, I just wanna know you better. From 1 to 3, got me looking everywhere for you. Count the stars, you are my sun. Oh, underneath my skin, my bones are creeping in. I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of life shining. Underneath your skin, underneath your skin. My skin, feel my bones are creeping in. I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of life shining. Underneath your skin, underneath your skin.
Everybody's telling me love is not, it seems to be hurts though you don't want it to. I bet I walk my way, let the humming voices fade, living the way I do. Here I am outside the door, trying to collect my thoughts, silly words from yesterday. I feel like I lose my mind every time when you're around. I have so much to say. I have so much to say.
Imagine.